It is Thursday, so we're getting down to business with Cosmo Macero of O'Neill and Associates. And Cosmo, let's talk about this because a new report released by the Harvard Business School says the U.S. competitiveness is deteriorating with businesses trying to compete globally and pay workers well. And for the third month in a row, Massachusetts losing jobs.
Yeah, 7,000 Harvard Business School graduates, Mark, say the tax code, regulatory environment, public schools are real areas of concern in the U.S. Also, our skilled labor force is kind of weakened. Education, the difficulty some companies have retaining and attracting foreign graduate students, and the fact that we need to use our community college system better to train the workforce, all leading into the fact that the U.S. is in tougher shape on competitiveness. And I think we certainly are seeing that in Massachusetts. Unemployment, it's held steady at 6.4%. But you know what? We still lost 1,400 jobs last month. We lost jobs in construction and manufacturing, which is not a huge surprise, but financial services sector, a cornerstone of our New England economy, also losing jobs. So a little bit of an uneasy sign in an otherwise, pretty strong market environment at least.
Yeah, stable, and that's the unstable portion, I guess, if we look at it that way. All right, let's talk about this now. I found this interesting. New rules coming to the Federal Housing Administration that will affect people's wallets. If you're thinking about buying, refinancing, go over to the calendar right now and circle June 3rd, right?
Absolutely. That's the date, June 3rd. The bottom line, if you're going to buy or refinance, do it now. When the changes kick in, you'll need more money up front for a down payment, or you may have to pay mortgage insurance over the life of the loan. That costs a little bit every month and sometimes a lot, and a real lot over the life of the loan. On top of that, Mark, projections are that interest rates could rise to 4.3% by the end of the fourth quarter this year. That's really going to impact the market, make it tougher to buy homes. It impacts sellers. It impacts buyers, but sellers also, right? It's going to potentially impact the pool of qualified candidates out there. Just when the housing market was getting better, this is going to have some kind of an impact on both the seller and the buyer end.
Certainly will. All right, let's talk about the Fenway Center Project. And if you know anything about this area outside the ballpark, and it's going to connect that area over in Beacon Street and so forth, that, this is exciting because it's really an eyesore right now, but it's, eventually going to be, apartments, business, also stores for people to shop at, restaurants as well.
Yeah, many years in the making, developer John Rosenthal now has a deal for air rights with the state for air rights over the turnpike. This proposal goes back to 2007. Actually, he's been working on this for closer to 15 or more years. And, quite a few air rights projects have been proposed over the last 15 years. Honestly, the last one that actually came to fruition was Copley Place in the 1980s. It's been a long time.
Wow, that has been a long time.
It really has. Very complicated, very costly. This one looks like it's going to go forward. Short-term, 1,800 construction jobs for Massachusetts. Construction could begin by the end of this year. New state revenues, $5.5 million up front for a lease payment, and then $5 million a year in property taxes for the city of Boston, as well as lease payments throughout the life of the project. Pretty interesting stuff, and a big move, a big project for that Fenway area. Again,
new development going on around Fenway, that old ballpark, tried and true. Wrecking Ball is not going to see that anytime soon, but nice to see the area around that area at Fenway Park, really get spruced up and be more active.
In this era of the Boston Red Sox, we really have seen that area of the city completely transformed from what it was just 10, 12 years ago. It's been pretty amazing.
Has indeed. All right, Cosmo Macero on a Thursday. Always good talking business with you.
Mark, thanks a lot.